Woo woo!
Good morning and welcome to the free daily coaching hangout. Your daily hangout for mindset, tech tips, and everything attraction marketing. We're here every morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Sit back or jump in. Either way, remember to have some fun. Here at freedailycoaching.com.
Boom! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Free Daily Coaching. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't talk about the weather. It's not allowed in the chat. How is everybody doing? It is Friday. That means it's a Friday fiesta. I'm wearing a little Tom Brady action this morning to get some support from a team. Let's see who we got here. Looks like the whole crew is here, ready to rock and roll. Super, super glad that you guys are here. Like always, today is a Friday fiesta. So what that means is you got to raise your hand, raise it up high if you want to come out and share this week. Fridays are for you. Fridays are a fun day. Fridays are a fiesta day. And we provide a day on Friday where everyone that took action this week, everyone that did something is welcome to come over here. If you took action this week, come over and share it. Whether you got the exact result and you smashed it through the roof, maybe you tried something new and you fumbled the ball a little bit, right? Maybe you were like, whoa, what am I doing over here? This is something new. However, you want to share that. You want to share that with everyone else. And the reason that we would love it if you share that with us is because in a community, in a group, when we work together, we're able to share. And when you're able to share, you're able to learn, grow, and move faster. You know, my mentor says something the other night. I can't remember which call it was on, so forgive me for that. She was talking about combining energies, combining that synergistic effect of working as a team, and talking about the energy or the amount of I can't even remember the exact wording, right? But the amount of energy, the amount of effort that one person can produce, when you couple that with someone else, when you bring those people together, it's the amount of what comes out, the output is exponentially more than the combined of the two. So like, I'm going to use like a numbers thing to make it, to maybe make myself more clear. Imagine that this guy over here was worth 5 and this person over here was worth 5. So if you combine them together, you would think it should be 10, right? No, it's like when you combine them, it's like you're multiplying them. It's like all of a sudden it's 25 or 50 or 100 times more powerful, more dynamic, more exciting when you combine energies, when you're working as a team. So that's what we do on Fridays, and we do it specifically for you. So it looks like there's some people that are raising their hands. I'm going to start pushing some buttons and bringing some people over. Looks like we have Christina Irvin down in Tennessee. We have Mr. Bob Miller. We got Chris Schaus. Chris, I'm going to bring you over. Looks like Felicia Mupo. So everyone that's watching, if you're out there right now, I know some of you are watching on Google Plus. Welcome, Google Plusers. Hello to all of our YouTubers that are our faithful YouTube crowd that's watching from their office, or maybe they're watching on their iPad or something and they're just plugging right into YouTube. Good morning to you. They're out on YouTube. For those that are here on the webinar on air, go ahead and raise your hand if you want to come out. Now, we get to see a lot of the same people all of the time, right? So this is your opportunity. This is your time to shine. This is your turn to jump on over. So raise your hand. We'll bring you over. We'll have you share with us this morning what it is that you did this week to take action, and then what those results were. So this morning we got Mr. Bob Miller out from San Diego. We have Miss Chris Schaus, and we also have Ms. Christina Irvin down in Tennessee. What we will do is, how about this? We'll start with the ladies. We'll start with Miss Christina. We'll talk to Christina for a few minutes. After that, we'll jump over to Chris, and then, hey, Bob, I'm just going to mute you just for a second because I hear you moving around. And then after we hear from Chris, we'll jump over to Mr. Bob Miller. Like I mentioned, guys, while they're sharing, if you guys did something, if you're ready to share this week, if this is the week that you're ready to come out and join into the community and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to share what I did this week, then raise your hand and we'll bring you over. I do want to say good morning and welcome real quick, Christina. So gather your thoughts. Let me say good morning and welcome to everyone that's here. Whitman, good morning to you, sir. Karen up in Canada. It's always fun because the Canadians, I don't know why, in the chat, they all group up together there on the attendees. So good morning to Karen. Good morning to Angel. I did a little post. Angel lives up in Manitoba, or I guess she's actually in Winnipeg, which I don't even know. I have to look at a map like to see how far that is from Manitoba. Don't you know? But I saw Mr. Todd Falcone's on a plane up there. That's someone fun to see in Canada. So Angel, find out what's going on over there. We got Nancy Beach out from New York. We got Linda Bomba down in Pennsylvania. Craig Kassler's here this morning. We got Rod Davison. Guys, pretty exciting. Had an opportunity to speak with Rod a little bit yesterday. And next week on Tech Tip Tuesday, Rod's going to come over and do a little guest hosting and share some fun stuff that he's learned. So I think you're really, really, really going to enjoy this. So make sure to be here next Tuesday when Rod does his first ever guest host on the free daily coaching call. He's going to do a little Tech Tip Tuesday. He's pulling a Christina Irvin, right? But since he is available, he's actually doing it on Tuesday. And if you guys remember, Christina, when she did her guest host for Tech Tip Tuesday, she actually made it was on a Friday because that's when she was home. So who else is here this morning? We have Miss Amanda's here, Judy's here, Mr. Gibbs is in the house. You guys know Brian Gibbs. Brian's in the house today. Barb's here. Good morning, Barb. Beth, good morning. Our international crew from France is here with Mr. Mark. Humphrey Davies. Christy and Jack Kelly are here. They're just right down in Pueblo, guys. They're just right around the corner. Miss Leanne is right around the corner from Mrs. Mupo, so the Dallas crew is here. Who else we got? Mr. McDonald, Mr. Bill Moore. Dallas is taking over in the mornings here, right? We got Idaho represented with Sandy Nielsen. Mr. Rosenberg is in the house. Rick's here. Maurice Walker is here today. Everybody likes it when Maurice comes. I'm pretty sure, guys, we also have like a secret person. Yesterday I couldn't figure out who this person was that I saw, and then I looked in my registration and noticed all these people. I was looking for this person, so I think I know. And would love to say good morning, TJ. It's great that you're here. It's great to have you here. If that indeed is your name, if you are indeed TJ, it's great to have you here. So now that we did a good amount of welcomes, and there's still people, I know you guys are just popping on. If I didn't say good morning to you, good morning and welcome. Raise your hand if you want to come over and play. We're going to start with Christina this morning. We're going to jump over to Chris. We're going to then talk to Bob, and then we'll swing back around and talk to Mrs. Mupo. So Christina, let's take it away. Talk to us about what action steps you took this week and what were the results.
Hey, so good morning, everybody. Good to see everybody. Bert, please tell me that's not a Patriots jersey.
Hello. Did you see what time it is? It's Patriots time. I'm just saying.
We'll talk about that another time.
Okay, we can rehash that on another call.
Yeah, this week I actually focused really on my voice and you know, getting it out to the masses rather than just communicating in small little groups or one-on-one. So I really focused on that this week, and particularly wanted to not just do it on social media, but I also wanted to carry that through throughout my marketing. So I did that more in my emails this week, and in my videos, and I even took another step at getting more comfortable with sharing my videos on my personal page on Facebook as opposed to just posting it on my fan page, because obviously more people are going to see it on my personal page. So that was my week.
Awesome. So, on fan page. Awesome. All right, we're going to come back and touch each one of these subjects in a minute, guys. and gals that are here. So next, we're going to jump over. I think this is the very first time Chris has ever been over on this side of the hangout with us. Anyways, at least on the free daily coaching. So good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm kind of shy. I usually don't jump out. I launched my blog this week.
You launched your blog. Awesome.
And signed up with Amazon to be an affiliate, and I'm learning how to add things to my blog that are affiliate bound.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Chris, are you just using is that primarily your marketing strategies that you're going to be blogging and selling affiliate products and driving traffic and showing people what you're doing over on your blog? Is that what you're going to be doing?
Well, I'm going to try to perfect that before I move on to anything else. So yeah, I would say right now that's my strategy.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Well, that's good. We're going to come back to this, guys, okay? So we're going to come back to each and every person. So thank you for sharing. So Chris did some blog addition to her repertoire. All right, Mr. Miller. Bob the Beast Miller. What's going on, buddy?
Do I have to unmute? Am I on now? Am I live? Or am I
live? You just were reanimated, Bob. You literally, we just like with magic of the internet, we brought you back to life. You were frozen, and it was like whoosh, magic powers, and we brought you back to life. So you're now alive.
I'm like one of those computer people that you always talk about all the time.
You are. I thought you were one of those guys in my computer until last year in San Diego when we met face to face, and I was like, wow, Bob Miller is a real person. He's not just one of those people in the computer.
And then the first person I met when I went to Live the Dream 5 was at 4. Last year was 4, right? Last year was 4.
Last year was 4, yeah.
The first person I met, I was walking through a hotel lobby, and I heard somebody go, bah! Bah! It was Bert sitting over there. I said, wow, that's cool. He was the only person I knew in the whole place. So,
so, Mr. Miller, I know that you have just been doing some really phenomenal stuff in your business. You've been recognized. I think it's pretty known by now here on the free daily coaching call and within a lot of these communities that we're in online that you're really crushing it out there in your business, and you've been doing some amazing things, really helping a lot of people. What action steps and what did you do different this week, Bob, or what did you add into the mix this week that you saw some results with?
Well, what I did, Bert, I actually did launch my blog, which I've been working on for like forever. And I'm doing a video every single day right now. And the videos I'm working on right now, I'm focusing on a tool called Anchoring, which I got from Larry Hockman in the Guru Code. And so every single morning, what I'm doing, I'm waking up early in the morning and I'm doing one of the Guru Code things all over each day, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing that before I go for my run in the morning. Then I shoot a video. Then I make sure I get back here by 7:30 to tap into your call. And then I start the day. So it's really helping me get into proper mindset.
Awesome. That's a great. It's what you shared, Bob. And when we come back and talk about each of these points, this is something. What Bob just mentioned is maybe one of the most important aspects of your marketing, of your life, of what you're doing that can actually rocket you. Literally, it's like putting you on the train tracks and just cranking that lever down, stoking that fire, and letting that freight train just roll. Boom! Like an unstoppable, right? We talked about it the other day. You put a train, a big freight train, and you put a bunch of coal in the back of it in those cars, and you put it on a track and you set it down the line, there ain't nothing stopping that train except for the guy that's in the engine, right? No one but the engineer is stopping that train. And guess this is the great part. You're the engineer. You're the engineer of your train, right? And every day that you do something like what Bob is talking about, you stoke that fire, right? I know I'm using like an old train example because now they're all like probably like diesel, like big other kinds. I'm talking about the old kind, right? Where you're in charge. You got a guy that's helping you right there. He's shoveling coal into the fire. He's putting more logs. And when that train starts rolling, there's nothing that stops it, right? You put a big truck that gets stuck on the tracks. Sorry, buddy. You better get out of your truck because the freight train's coming. And ain't nothing stopping the freight train once it starts rolling, right? Ain't nothing stopping that train. So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about some more of that stuff because that, what Bob just mentioned, could be the turning point in your business. And the best part is there's a solution. There's an answer. If you want to have some resources, if you want to have some wood, if you want a pile of coal to start shoving into your freight train, I'm going to show you this morning how you can do that. So let's go over to Mrs. Mupo. She took some action this week. What did you do, Mrs. Mupo?
Oh my goodness, things changed so much this week. But really, what I did is put more of myself into my business, and it has had an absolutely incredible effect. By the way, Bob, I am so freaking impressed, dude. You're like waking up when I'm going to bed. Dang. I'm like, we could just like high five. Just take over. 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow. But anyway, wanted to share. I mean, I just got finished making a video that did bring me to tears. So some of y'all will see that video here in just a little bit. But it was based on part of what we learned within the Guru Code. So for those of y'all that are in the Guru Code with us, it was number 6, where we talked about being the rock star, the Pied Piper is what it was officially called. But it was all about putting yourself, putting your heart, knowing who you are and what you stand for, and be willing to expose that, be willing to share that. And I may get upset again, but for those of y'all that have done this, and I know Bert's been excellent at this, and he's been trying to show me this over the last I don't know, as long as I've known him. But for those of y'all that are willing to understand that about yourself, embrace that about yourself, and be vulnerable enough to realize that there's going to be people that don't like you because of it. I haven't been blessed yet with a hate letter, I don't think, unless I just missed it. I haven't gotten my hate letter yet. I'm sure it's coming, and I'm sure as I gain more and more courage to be more bold in who I am, what I'm doing, where my vulnerabilities are, because I don't usually expose those, then I'm sure the hate letters will come. But hopefully by that point, my vision and my wherewithal and my understanding of myself is strong enough that it won't knock me over.
It's absolutely right. And Felicia, when you show that vulnerability that you're showing us right now, and that you obviously mentioned that you showed in the video, what it does is it makes you real. We're real guys. We're all real people. That's why I invite everyone to come over on Fridays to share about the real results. Sometimes people come over and they share about something that they did. They took an action and it didn't work out the way they thought. Right? I talked about earlier this week. I talked about on a webinar that I took some actions that I thought I was going to get one response or one result, and I actually got the opposite result. What happens when you share you, right? And this is what Felicia was talking about in adding more of you into your marketing. You're just simply bringing some humanity. Bring some humanity to your marketing. Do you ever sit down and you go to write an email, and then all of a sudden you're like 3 sentences into the email and you're like, what the heck am I writing? Like, seriously, you're like, this is going to be the most incredible, amazing, super fantastic thing that you've ever seen. And you're writing that in your email and you're like, I wouldn't say that. Well, okay, I might say that, so I might write that. But I'm saying, have you ever done that? Have you ever been writing? Because I do it too. Believe me. excuse me, believe me when I tell you that sometimes I write something and then I look and I'm like, that is not how I talk. I would not say that. And then I have to go back and like rewind it, right? I have to go back and delete it. What you're doing, Felicia, is something that is profound. You're doing, in my opinion, you're doing two different things here. A, you're allowing that humanity to seep out into the audience that you're communicating with, which draws them to you, which lets them be attracted to you because they know that you're like them. You're a human being. That's what we are. We're human beings, right? We talk about this all the time. What is a lead? A lead is a person. It's a human being. It's just that you're getting their email, but the email is attached to a person. It's not just a number. It's not just some random like equation, numerical factorization of a monetizational number that is worth something in a future point. It's a person. It's a real live person, someone that's looking for you. And when you're able to emote and you're okay with it and you allow that, it tells other people, hey, you're allowed to do that too. You're allowed to be a human being. You're allowed to make mistakes along the way. It's okay to be a part of the journey. It's a journey. And we all have different challenges, and you've talked about it before, Felicia, the emotional roller coaster, yeah? So you got your tick, 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 this week, and then you got the woo, right? That was the like, everything's changing, and then in between the tick, 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 and the woo, right? With the gravity, like the weightless feeling, you're like, yeah, this is amazing, let's get it go, bro, woo-hoo-hoo. That part, in between those two parts, in between being up here, and the tick, 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 and the woo, there's this little spot right down here, right? And that's where you're at. And at that point is when you've experienced both the tick, 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 and the woo. So if you've, that's going to be like a quote later, right? People are like, have you heard of tick, tick, tick and woo marketing, right? But if you've experienced the tick, tick, tick and the woo, at the bottom of that, now you've experienced both parts. Now you can share it. Like you're sharing it right now, Felicia. You can pour it out there. Yes, Christina.
I just wanted to just chime in on this because, Felicia, I don't know why, but I feel like you and I seem to be having very similar steps all the way through this in a lot of ways emotionally. And maybe it's because we're both, two females from corporate America, MBAs, and in some ways we have to do it, when we're in that business world in corporate America, you kind of have to have a certain stoic nature about yourself, but you can't be too stoic. And I think that in a lot of ways this speaks for everyone, no matter what sector you come from. Oh, I'm going to try not to get emotional. But
bringing tears to the call this morning. This is supposed to be a happy call. These are happy tears. These aren't sad tears.
Yeah, this is very happy tears because what I want to say, guys, is that no matter where you come from, no matter what experience it is, life, that we can't be who we really are for whatever reason that is, whatever situation. And I don't know about you, I'm not going to speak for you, Felicia, but for me, being able to find my voice and speak my voice and show that vulnerability has been so liberating because people, I don't know, for some reason, probably think that I'm this, like harsh, go raw kind of girl or whatever, and that's so not me. I'm very warm, nurturing, emotional, sensitive girl. Yeah, I don't take any crap, but I'm a very passionate person. And so this journey has been wonderful to reintroduce myself to me and find that in me again.
It's a very powerful journey that we're on, and when you're able to tap into it's Christina, I want to thank you for expressing your emotions, and let me say this is a funny part, and you're like, that's not funny, Bert. That's not funny, Bert. I'm crying. I'm being vulnerable, Bert. Don't laugh at me. The funny part, I'm not laughing at you. The funny part is this. Literally, you're expressing this emotion like it's a happy emotion. You're like, and then this is what you say out loud, verbally. I'm just I'm just noticing this, right? Just so you know. You say, okay, I'm going to try not to be emotional. Why? Why are you going to try not to be emotional? Like, hello, that's the whole point. The whole point is that we want to know. Like, check this out. We will know that you're soft and cuddly when you show us the emotions, right? We'll know how much you care. We'll know. It will be burned into our mind, right? You will burn that emotion into someone's mind. You will literally, like, have you ever gone fishing? And you know how some fishing hooks, they look like a hook, and then some of them on the back of the hook, they got like that little gnarly thing, that little barb.
Because I'm from Tennessee, I don't do the outdoor thing. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm not really a fisherman, and for lots of different reasons. I'm just saying, have you ever seen, I've actually seen a fish hook though, right? You know those little barbs?
Mm-hmm.
When you're able to do that and you're able to share, and guys, it's not like you do it on purpose, like it's planned, like it's a move. When you're actually in the moment and it's real, what happens is people latch into you, okay? Have you ever been sitting down and maybe you're watching the news and a story comes up, maybe you're reading the newspaper, maybe you're checking the newspaper online, and you come across a story and it's a story that touches you, like it just pulls at your heart. Check this out. The whole rest of the day, are you or are you not telling everyone you know about that story? Oh my gosh, I read this story in the paper this morning. You got to read this. Oh my gosh, did you see this thing on Facebook? Oh my gosh, you got to see this. Oh, did I tell you about my friend who, right? Did you hear about the story about, and then fill in the blank. This is powerful because check this out. People change lives. And what I mean by that is this. You change your life. You get to decide what you want to do. I heard it last night. The past is yesterday. It's over, dude. You could talk about it. You could reminisce about it if it's beneficial for you today. Hopefully you learned some lessons along the way. But check this out. The past is past. It's the experience that you've already had. And guess what? Tomorrow isn't even real. It's in your imagination. Saturday, unless you live in New Zealand, does not exist. In the United States, Saturday is not real yet. It has not occurred. It's not real. The only thing that's real is right now, is this present that we have right now, right? And you've heard it, right? Like the past is the past and the future doesn't exist. But what we have is the present. That's the gift. The gift of right now that we have today, right? Chris talked about what an amazing Chris. Thank you so much. And by the way, does Chris have like the raddest glasses ever? Ooh, I was like, I thought I had some sweet glasses. Those things are awesome. I'm totally going to get some of those bad boys. Those are sweet, Chris. I want to say congratulations to Chris, who admitted right out. Chris, what you did was diffuse the whole thing. She just talked about the elephant in the room right away. She's like, listen, I'm kind of shy. I don't usually come out here, okay? Just to let you guys know. Boom. So now we all know, hey, Chris is nervous. She might be a little shy. And then guess what? She was able to share. She did something for her business this week, guys. She got something set up, right? And I saw it in the chat. She was asking people. I told her, like, hey, it depends on, I can't even give you any information. In Colorado, we're not allowed to be Amazon affiliates. I don't know. They don't like us in Colorado, I guess. But how amazing is that Chris went for something. She wanted to do something. She did it. She took the action, and then if she didn't know the answer, she went and asked others, can you help me? Do you know information that may be able to help me? TJ, I tried to bring you over. I clicked on the thing. I think I know who you are. I'm going to send this over to who I think TJ is, and then they can join us. But the call is almost over. I'm going to do it just in case, because it will be fun if TJ is who I think it is, and we'll see. The other thing that I wanted to touch base on just before we go, guys, because I know we're at the top of the hour, and this week we've gone over a few minutes each day, is something that Mr. Bob Miller talked about. You know, Bob committed to himself to do something for himself to make himself better. And no one believes me, or not very many people believe me, but what I did to start my whole entire process back in the very beginning was and I still do this, guys, every day I read. Now I started adding audio in too, right? So now I'm reading and putting stuff into my brain, and now listening, so that when I'm feeding animals and I'm hanging out in Goat Village, my earbuds are pouring in wealth. That's how I think about it. I think of it as pouring wealth into myself. And imagine what your life would look like. Imagine what your life would look like. Imagine how many lives you could go and change, that you could be a part of, that you could communicate with, if you decided to change you. You didn't worry about what Christina was doing in her business. You didn't worry about that you're seeing Felicia Mupo rocket through, right? Like, wow, she's going fast. You didn't worry about that. You didn't worry about that Chris has way cooler glasses than you, right? You don't get bummed out. You're like, oh, man, I thought I was cool till I met Chris. Dang it. You don't get bummed out about that. Why? Because you don't compare. You don't worry that you're not getting up at midnight like Bob Miller, who like sleeps for 4 hours a night, I guess, obviously, goes to bed at 9 and gets back up at midnight to start the regimen again, you know. He's actually running Coronado Island, but just no one knows it, right? He's like the secret CIA operative that no one knows. He's actually running all the SEAL training down there, I guess. No one even knows. Imagine if you started to do that. Imagine if you started to pour into yourself. When you do that, it's like you start and you're building bricks, right? And you build and you build and you build. And one day, all of a sudden, you realize, wow, I've got a pretty sweet tower. And then all of a sudden, you realize that in the top of that tower is a big light. Now you guys made me cry. And that's the whole thing, is when you do this every day, when you build yourself, when you pay attention, all of a sudden, you realize that you built this tower, and at the top is the light. And guess what? You built a lighthouse. And now you just go turn on the light, dude. Whoop, whoop. Right? And it's shining all over the ocean. So then the ships that are coming in, that's the audience that you're looking for. When they're coming in, you could be that light and say, hey, watch out for these rocks. It's crazy up here along this North Shore, right? You want to spread that light around so that they can see there's a path, and the path is just sail your boat right in over here. There's a beach. We have a beach. There's a community. There's a pier. There's all kinds of piers. There's the Bob Miller Pier you can pull your boat right up to. Christina Irvin's got her own little dock. You just tugboat yourself right in, right? You want to get the cool shades? Boo, boo, boo. Get a Shouse in your house and go visit Chris, right? You pull up at her dock, right? If you got a speedboat and you want to go fast, you're like, vroom, you sail over in on the Mupo dock, right? If you got like dodo birds and some crazy exotic pets and all that kind of stuff in your boat, you might come to my dock. But we have a beach, right? And that's what happens, guys. We're all on the same beach. We're all part of this same community. The question is, when are you going to take action? When are you going to take that step to go out and build a better you? Because I can tell you this, if you go and build a better you, you're enabling more people to become attracted to you. Every step that you take to build yourself into a better version of you, every step that you take to become another level of you, a deeper level, a more educated, a more valuable you, the more people that will be attracted to you. It's just that simple. I don't know why it works that way, but check this out. I don't care why. I just know it works. Period. I just know it works. I don't want to figure out why. I don't want to figure out why. I just know that it works. And I want to do what works because, like most of you here, I want to help people. That's what you want to do. Help people. How can you help more people? Help yourself. Help yourself by taking actions like personal development. Help yourself by taking actions like going out and getting something accomplished like Chris did, and when you need the assistance, asking for help. Go out and build yourself better and do things like Christina Irvin did and talk to more people. Carry the message to the masses. Go out and do what Felicia Mupo did and put more you in your business. I want to thank every single one of you for joining us this morning. I want to tell you about something that, if you haven't seen this, I want you to go check this out. I want you to really think about being a part of a community. I want you to think about what the power of the group can do for you. What would it be like if you could mastermind, communicate, interact with a group of other individuals like yourself that were going towards the same end goal? Imagine not just one, like we talked about in the beginning, not just two, but imagine when there's a dozen, 2 dozen, 100, 1,000. Imagine all of that combined together, what that looks like when it is combined. It's amazing. The energy, the potential is absolutely incredible. And I can tell you 100% that working with a group, working with a community, following a specific path has absolutely changed my business. And you can see down below by all the panel members, it's changing theirs as well. Guys, I'm going to send you to something that I want you to take a look at, something called the Deep Abyss. Many of you are already probably taking part. If you haven't decided to take part, I want you to make a decision this morning. I want you to make a decision for yourself to go over and take a peek at what this is all about. And when you see the price point, you'll probably start crying like everyone else because you'll be so excited that it's actually something that you can do. You can get this today, and you can be a part of this. Be a part of something special because you're special, because you deserve it. I want to thank Felicia. I want to thank you, Christina. Chris, thank you so much for coming out. Bob the Beast Miller, thank you for coming out and sharing. I want to remind everyone that this afternoon we'll be doing a work session, so if you're part of my work sessions, look in the group. You'll definitely see that pop up. I also want to remind you guys that next Tuesday we're going to have a special guest, so we're going to have some special guests coming up. I want to thank you guys all for joining us this morning here on Free Daily Coaching. I want to wish you an amazing weekend. And like always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, if you need to get a hold of me, just reach out on text, Facebook, or on the telephone. Thank you all so very much for being here. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good weekend.
See you guys next time. I sent everyone, just so you guys know, I sent them to the Deep Abyss, so if they're your people, they'll still be tagged to you. So.
Okay.